Ashita welcome everyone. We'll wait for a minute for everyone to join. Thank you. Some people are still joining, so we will wait for 2 minutes. Give me a minute, Geshe. Give me a minute to settle. Good afternoon, everyone. Tashidalek. I'm Mrinalini, a volunteer with Millejam Selling. On behalf of our center, I welcome all of you for the precious teachings on Medicine Buddha practice by Venerable Geshe Lobsang Tenzin. I will share a little bit history of the center since some people are new. Milejamse Tibetan Buddhist Center was established by Geshe Lobsang Tenzin La in 2018, located in the bustling city of Mumbai, India. The name Milejamse translates to the love and compassion of Medicine Buddha, reflecting the center's mission to promote healing, compassion, and spiritual growth. Recognizing the therapeutic benefits of Buddhist practices like mindfulness, meditation, compassion, wisdom, and mind training, Geshe-la offers these teachings to help individuals achieve emotional healing and cultivate inner peace amidst the pressures of modern life. Village aims to provide not only the spiritual refuge but also a pathway to greater emotional well being for all those who seek it. For those who are new, I am sharing brief about our teacher, Venerable Geshe Lobsang Tenzin. Geshe Lobsang Tenzin joined Serajay Monastic University in 1994, where he continued his studies in Buddhist philosophy. In 2016, he completed a Geshe Larampa degree with a PhD in Buddhist philosophy. Geshe-la also participated in certificate programs with Emory Tibet Science Initiative, Science Leadership, and Science Meets Dharma program where he studied Western philosophy, math, biology, chemistry, physics, and neuroscience. In 2017, he went to Yume Tantra College for 1 year to study Tantra. Geshe has been in Mumbai since June 2018, and Geshe teaches Buddhist philosophy and meditation, etc. in Mumbai. About our translator Tenzin Lakpala. Tenzin Lakpala has been helping our center for more than 1 year with the translation of the course happening online. And for more information, our latest teachings and updates, please do visit our website millechamc.com. Now I request everyone to join me for prayers. I'll share my screen. I hope it is visible and readable. Yes.
Not yet.
Tashitile, Keshila, Tashitile, Mrinalini. Yes, audible
Yes.
and visible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, let us
Prayer
start with the
not
prayer.
visible.
Oh, it's not visible?
Yeah.
I have shared my screen though. I'll try again. Is it visible?
Yes, enough visible.
Okay, okay. Okay, let us start with the prayers, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. We'll do it 3 times. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Now let us do the 4 immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and the cause of suffering. May all sentient beings not be separated from the bliss that is free of suffering. May all sentient beings live in equanimity, free from attachment and hatred towards those near and far. May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and the cause of suffering. May all sentient beings not be separated from the bliss that is free of suffering. May all sentient beings live in equanimity, free from attachment and hatred towards those near and far. May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and the cause of suffering. May all sentient beings not be separated from the bliss that is free of suffering. May all sentient beings live in equanimity, free from attachment and hatred towards those near and far. Thank you, everyone. Now I request Venerable Geshe to start with the teachings. And thank you, Tenzin Lakpala, as a translator. Bye.
관계 도쟁에서 내 따왔던데 bombe체 담배치 내 된장 오담된라 자제로 thank you Minarji for introduction of our center, also prayer. Today our session is a very special session, so I'm going to talk about the Medicine Buddha, how to practice Medicine Buddha in our daily life, also benefit of Medicine Buddha practice. So before start my mind talk, I'm going to chant Medicine Buddha mantra 3 times. Also, all of you also chant together. Okay. Toje gana nyambe chomde de tsenda de be ngoso de ngose to so ne se sanje menje Bindra ya ye jala sa te lo ta ya da on be ka ma e be ka de ran za sa mo ga de so ga ya da on be ka de ma e be ka de ran za sa mo ga de so Tayada o bekade maha bekade raja samo gade so. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So now I'm going to talk in Tibetan. that tiring anzo the melage. 이게 단 냠내체 당데 당하는 생게 mel라 어 급도스나 민도 딱 밀려 쳐거든요. 컨데스 딱 냠내체 단저라. 니고나 네 드링시체 대 무슨 다 당보 밀라를 되잖아. 당보 되지 송선이라.
So Geshe said that today we're going to discuss on the daily practices of the Medicine Buddha, as well as how to practice and integrate the ritualistic text of Medicine Buddha in one's own life.
그래서 나 간저게 다 밀라스도 되네. 다 럽되잖아. 남상가 쯤나라 가르쳐 쳐도서는 매도 대화요 그러지. 매도 대화요 저 촬영도 밀라를 되잖아. 다 매도 대화에도 something 되잖아. 나 간저 가르쳐서는 야 셈나라. 맹간세다. MG를 써봐다. 어디 된저지 안에 셈나라는 신이 참. 다 매다 아니 맹간다 MG를 something 거도 되네. 나자세지. 란신기 나자세지다. 셈나라는 신이 촬영하지. 참 왔다. 가서 정말 대화요 되버렸어.
So when we when we hear the word Medicine Buddha, the first thing that visually appears in our mind is something that's related to medicine. And when we talk about medicine, automatically we tend to arise visual images in our mind of hospitals and doctors. And then if we connect it further, it goes to diseases. So therefore, diseases, hospital, doctors, and medicine, they're all interrelated to each other.
다 대선은 나자 세대 란신 어들라 태연되잖아. 다 나자 세대라 나서나 네 맹간도 때라 써봐. 야나 매 사야라 써봐. 대제게 아니 저답지 맞아 한자도 채고. 대대 샤샤바이나 그 도저히 감담질라 거 그것도 봐 도셔야지 저라. 대균에 매워 손다 다 딜레 탑시에 가서나 매사야라 맹간 때라. 암지 때라 써고 대대 돈에 가서 탑시지 맞아 한자라.
And so when we fall under the suffering of ailment and diseases, the only way to sort of resolve this particular problem is to go to hospital and consult a doctor. These particular type of suffering, they do not simply disappear by themselves. They require a certain degree of diagnosis and consultation by the doctor. And only after that, we're able to get rid of a particular type of suffering.
그래서 맹간을 넣어도 되네. 다 먼저 로고 채워 당어서 매진단 놀라. 다 맹간 넣다는데 믹서도 차대 버렸어. 남주에는 참자는 것도 선바티우도 중앙에나야. 어디 들은 거 선바티우도 바게데 링가도보다 야 자저 타도 버서 봐. 야날로니 따서도 뭐 중앙에 있어야 참자 선바티우 전에 제 고양양도 집다 버서 중앙에 되네요. 나다나 삼자나 셈라 강하시 어떻게 드린 셈바 주부지는 멘도스 다 메도잖아 다 같이 논이다가 좀 인슬 쏘고다 야나 자저 타도보다 야나 링가라 쏘고다 참잠도 사줘라 어딘데라 조이 셈바 고양양 제 조이세 어딘데게 간저 남지 용거라다디.
And so, in those cases, we see that the only place that we visit is hospital. It's a very specific circumstance under which we visit hospitals, because in our day-to-day life, when we're feeling very joyful, we tend to go to watch movies, we go on beaches, we go in the park for a walk, and things like that for picnic. And then sometimes when we feel sad, we do the same things to sort of like distract ourselves. We go to watch movies. Sometimes we may just go for a walk on the beach. Sometimes we may go to the park for a walk or a picnic. So these are the things we do either when we're happy or when we are sad, but there are very particular circumstances under which we have to visit hospitals.
어디서는 담맹한 두두자는 가서 가전 쪽에서나 쌤 가봐도 다 되는 거 만장은 쪽에 생겨요 말에. 어다 디네 전에 디스 고양이한테 쌤봐. 쌤 기분도 맹한 두는 고양이한테 고양이한테 연결을 쌤 디네게 잡아 좀 종게 주네요 말. 담맹한 줘야 될라 가서서는 딱 같이 가전 쪽에서 왜나 아니 레바치 잡냐나. 다 우통 다 똑똑해는 우통인데 담맹한 쪽. 나 내가 지금도 믹사래. 지금 많이 배 지금 맹간 쪽에나 우통인데 다 속불라 나자지 나네. 다들 저다 메도 다 맹간을 줘봐야나 그거는 죽으리 삼성 레바치 점 주. 야 나자 매바 이나야 매가 도서는 어 톡바치 광고 다 몽발라 나자 데데 유지리 썸네 셈나라 톡바 남도 적잖아요. 딱제전 나자 카르카도스. 어 딘데 제전은 줘야 돼. 우토는 두고는 뭐다 가가토도 다와 되네 주네요 말스.
And so, unlike places like park and movie theater and places like that, we go to hospital not because of whether we want to relax or we want to distract ourselves from a particular situation. We go to hospital with a hope that, and we go there only when we are very desperate. So we go there in very desperate situations with a hope that whatever ailment that we are suffering from, we can get rid of those if we go to the hospital. And then there is the second case where we go to hospital with doubt that we might be infected with something or we might be contracting certain disease. So we go and check up for that particular kind of disease. So only for those situations, whether it's fear or doubt, through desperation, we go to a place such as the hospital.
대소는 당한 좀 맹간을 줘야 되다 디레션을 줘야 되나 당한 가래 그거 뭐서 나자 그거 뭐라 내 그거 뭐라 맞아라 속고 대단 그거 다 대단 그거 내 된절라 안돼 메고야 되다 치료 치기 다 속 나자라 속고 된도이나 치속 나자도이나 다 맹간데 백해져 뭐라 맹간 맞대나 아니 대전 공도 시반나지 나자데 저 간담전에 예줘요 뭐라 맹간 맞대는 도도도 간담을 안 자다고 자네 강한 쇼지 된 거라 다 맹간데 암지 때 백해져 뭐라 대 안에 대처다다 단다 맹간라서 엠들 전저 그 민망버지게 네 내를 줘요네 스스로를 잡어요. 그래서 항상 땅가도 제수이랑 제 내라.
And so every one of us have a common thing, that is, none of us desire to get sick. And so whenever we come under this particular suffering, which is called ailment of sickness, we try to get rid of it as fast as possible. And so for that, we visit hospital, we consult doctors, and then there are these physical ailments, there are these mental ailments, and many of the physical ailments, as we see, they do not fade or they do not go away by themselves. We need to consult doctor. We need to take prescription under them. Only after a course of medication, we're able to get rid of those things. So therefore, it's only for those things we tend to visit the hospital. And then in the past and in the present, we see that the advancement of medicine has helped many who have taken refuge in that particular field. And many of the people have been able to liberate themselves from the suffering, particularly the ailment that they face because of the advancement of medicine. And this particular aspect of medicine is something that all of us should rejoice.
다 되제. 다 인도되는 다 나자 된도 나자게 규제 망고 줘라. 나자 세들라. 규제 망고도 나자 가셔야 안돼. 내분에 용도 그러지. 가셔야 치료가 잘 되는 용도. 딘데라 속박에다 나자 망고 줘줘라. 그래서 나자 망보지 안돼 다 맹간라 돈에 다 매산에 다다 줘도요. 나자 가셔야 맹간라 돈에 매산에 안돼 지단게 나자 중요해 띠데 안돼 내불러 속보다 안돼 치게 안 잘라 속보다 딘데 중요해나야 맹간라 돈에 주냐게 매 가자선나야 맞아요. 맨저 가자선나 맞아요. 딘데 내다 치게
So these type of ailments or diseases, we see that they are arising from various factors. Some of them, they may arise from those pathogens or germs that we have. Some of them due to pollution and the chemical waste that has been inhaled in our body. So we see that there are many different factors because of which these diseases arise, and accordingly, these ailments can be cured. But then there are also some cases in which someone who may be infected or who may be experiencing backlash of particular chemical waste that they have inhaled, are admitted in hospital, but despite of any cure, despite of any diagnosis and cure that has been implemented on them, they do not get better.
그래서 다 가셔야 나자 가셔야 가르쳐서나 준에 준에 좀 뭐도 소소가 나바란 얘기 나와 출고 나 MG를 속 같은 저거 딱제 가자 쳐봐나 나자데 가르이 봐 준에 제 맞죠 배고 디레네 당에 삼다 연구
And so there are also these type of illnesses or diseases which simply cannot be diagnosed properly. The patient, they say that they are experiencing a particular type of suffering, but the doctors, through rigorous diagnosis, thorough and rigorous process of diagnosis and exams, are not able to pinpoint the exact cause of this particular disease.
이제 나자 가셔야 가르는 것은 제라 대진 공도 쇼는 이제 제다니 네불라 속보다 딘데게 젠지 매저가 야직 속제 마인베게 다 숙진스나 민도 딘데 당가도스나 노바셀 속보다 딘데게 나자딘데 요르다 가셔 제다 제라 속보다 딘데 때는 마종이 대제 나자 대제 렉도 있나 매사나 주는 배요 말 매사나 배면도 매간도는 주는 배요 말 매간도와나 에 도선 태바라에 맞아 주는 요 말. 된절라 나자 쩌고 그래 쩌고도 전에 다 탑란 심바지 맞아란데라.
And so there are also these type of diseases, which are simply because of these are simply because of certain type of curse that has been put on someone. And these type of diseases are not something that arise from germs, pathogens, or any pollutant or chemical waste that has been inhaled. It is purely because of certain curse or certain type of curse that has been put on someone. And so when someone is experienced this type of disease, which is due to a particular curse, that person can visit any hospital they want, however many times they want. They can go under however many medication courses they want, but those medication and hospital visit do not help them at all. So therefore there must be a way to cure these type of diseases also.
다선은 나 된제 될라서 봐야 나자 가셔지 야 매주네 내가 맞아 되잖아요 네 당원도 힐링스나 민도 딘데게 다야 에어 샵데스나 민도 딘데 떨어졌으나 민도 딘데 관계 다 내가 돼 당원 좀 통해요 다데 좀 쉬어마요 뭐지 저도 통하지 뭐지고 딘데 요르다 딘데 된데나 당원 저기 야매 당잖아요 대 아니야 님지 갈래갈 나줘야 말이야 딘데 양조다 맞아와나 대 괜찮아요 나도 심바 뭐지 용세 버렸어.
And so we see that in those cases, it is very apparent, and then many of you must have seen it, that in those cases, there are particular rituals that are being performed in order to cure these type of diseases, and they simply work, which is quite observant, that many of you have observed that they work after these rituals. And so therefore, simply relying on the current medical science and then saying that these rituals and these things do not work is simply incorrect. And thus we must also we must also analyze deeply in those aspects of rituals that are being performed in order to resolve these kind of diseases, which cannot be cured by medicine or consultation of hospital.
다 배차샤는 당한도 참선에 미가젤라야 돼 언저게다 심제 다 심바속으로다 룰러속이야 룰러속보다 포토쇼네야 되게 너봤다는 나된 거예요 야 가셔야 라카셔 적tembe 라카셔 데젤라 포토쇼로 데네게 괜찮냐 나대 버렸어 어때다 되나서야 가셔야 데다 미만인지 데네게 아니 섬저런 관계 나대거든요 요르다 어때도 되는데다 대제 권도 시원한 생게다 매일 뱀마도다 저답지 전에 마도게 준에 매일 전에다 면접 전에 준에 다요 말스.
And so we see that some people they are experiencing these ailment as a backlash to either offending these particular beings called the Nagas. Sometimes when you offend these beings called Nagas, they are backlash which manifest as these diseases. And then there are these spirits who also can sort of harm us in that particular way. And then in some ways, you may have also offended these sort of like these mountain deities or the original deities of a particular place. And because of that, there are these apparent backlashes that can be observed, that some person or some people, they experience these diseases, and no matter how many times they visit hospitals or take any medication, these type of diseases just don't go away. So therefore there should be a means, there should be a method through which we are able to resolve even these type of diseases.
대선자 다 단대게 학바도 다 간저게 지den게 딘데 나자리라 아니 저시하게 또 저리를 망보쇼요 다 샵되는서 아니 찍내는 다야 멜라데요 멜라데야 안에 딘데 토라 항상에게 다 대바첨보지다 아니 누바첨보쇼죠 그래서 딘데게 또네 가시 지단게 나자게 매 산에 내가 지고 있나냐 데스야 매산에 뺐다고라 남시 준도 남시 나지 맞아봐 내가 제가 강아지를 뺐다가 제시 옷 거르대를 쏘고 가셔야 매균을 매 갖다 때는 내가 맞아를 쏘고 딘데도 뭐냐 가셔야 나자 셈바죠 버터 저 공수면 딘데 값으냐 산제 멜라라 네 소음을 따비다 되게 안에 차도 추발을 쏘고 딘데 비엘을 쏘고 딘데 제가 했나냐 가셔라 다 미소서를 라래라 딘데냐 팬도 좀 보였어.
Moreover, these type of diseases, we see that to resolve these kind of diseases, it is required to perform a particular ritual, and then there are numerous ritual that are beneficial for these type of situation. And out of these ritual, the ritual of the Medicine Buddha is significant in these particular rituals. And it is seen that many times when someone who has either a disease that is not getting cured by a particular course of medication or is not being diagnosed, in those cases, to simply supplicate to the Medicine Buddha or to perform this ritual related to the Medicine Buddha enables them in a way that the medicine that were not working in the beginning, they start showing they start showing their effect, and the person is getting better. In some cases, we see that even the medicines are working, it takes a lot of time to take effect. In those cases, by simply doing the supplication to the Medicine Buddha or performing this ritual, what it does is that it accelerates the benefit of the medicine that they are taking. So therefore, supplicating to the Medicine Buddha is very beneficial in those cases.
단단히 건드시면 나 실로 면제 전에야 핑구 여가 있나야 야 뒤돌아야 고진 저 파체를 쏘거든요 네 너바한테 레벨 젠제 네 면제도 따다람도 면제를 쏘봐 아니 면제 안에 제가 가서 나다 잼면제를 쏘고 강한 보제다 용대 훨씬 뭐라 딘데 값소야 아니 단대게 멜라게 단제 멜라라 쏘고 몰라나 쏘고 딘데 잡 멜라가 타이나 쏘고 제가 있나 네 면제 잼도 나다도 타와 마세 면제 돈에게 체대가 나다던도야 네 쪽부 타일을 쏘고 딘데게 네 다시 쪽부 종용해 다가는 신게 네 매던 저게 내가 잡고치 대선자 안에 샥조당이나 샥조 넘버용해서 쏘고 딱 카르다 가이나 다티 나자데 대바인 bedendula 항상이다 나자게 되게 갈다이나 중앙이나냐 멜라게 되라 항상에게 누가 첨부 요랬어.
So therefore, supplicating to the Medicine Buddha is very efficient. Not only efficient, it's very powerful in these situations. For example, in situations where many courses of medication didn't work on that person, their disease is unable to be diagnosed properly by the hospital. In those cases, simply supplicating to the Medicine Buddha or performing the ritual of the Medicine Buddha is very effective in those cases where, in some cases where the medicine didn't work, it starts working. Where the medicine worked but was working very slowly, it accelerates. And in cases where you have to perform, or we have to go under a particular surgery, those surgery becomes successful. So these are the benefits of supplicating and performing the rituals of the Medicine Buddha.
됐습니다. 다 딘데게 안에 산제 멜라라 딘데게 뉴버딘데잖아. 산제 멜라게 뉴버딘데 컨텐츠 차례에서 양 덮어서 그러. 근데 산제 멜라 컨텐츠 딘데 누바 첨부 딘데 믹사 나자도 가르레스 가데스 총레스 딘데게 도바지란 실럽인 거라.
And so now talking about these benefits of supplicating to the Medicine Buddha, naturally a question arises in our mind. We ask, why is it that the Medicine Buddha is especially a type of Buddha that's very beneficial in these cases? What gives Medicine Buddha this type of ability to be very beneficial in the cases of medicine and healing?
그래서 다 산제 멜라세데 담보다 engela 산제 멜라 코랑에 산제 멜라 맞아봐 거라. 근데 나로 동당 망병을다. 나네 슈놀로드 타야세 줬다. 슈놀로드 타야세 바데 코랑 네 쳐라시고 대바 최념래 제라서 버틴데게 딱거나 데데 숙지 뭐 저버제 여대바게 저버제 딘데제 담보데 네 딜로제도 버잖아 딘데는 고소나 삼.
So now looking at the hagiography or the hagiography of Medicine Buddha, we come to this point. So Medicine Buddha was not always Medicine Buddha. So many million years ago, in a particular land, there was this one small child was born there called Shunulore Taye, who was since his birth very much devoted to the spiritual path.
아니 슈놀로드 타야세도 그런 다 최념래쇼 저는 타마들 안에 그런 네 냠래 잡을 때는 안에 전적 셈 줄었지 전적 셈바 전세 박바 된대 차야 된대 차바 맞아 안에 그런 게 네베톨 믹스하게 공부하셔야 되는 거 송자다 그런 셀라냐 멤버 까마 테메 쓰고 된대 안에 슈고다 전적 셈바 차가 없어 전적 셈바 멤버 까마 테메
And so in his entire life, he applied himself in the practice of dharma. And with rigorous practice in dharma, at a certain point, he was able to awaken the bodhicitta. And in his entire life, he applied himself in the service of the sentient being by through the practice of medicine. So he studied medicine, and then his entire life dedicated to the study and the application of the medicine, in which he cured many people. So at that time, he was known as the physician, Kama Timeu.
그래서 다 그런 게다 내가 전주에서 막 감바 팀에 그런 멤버라 다 멤버 감바 전주에서 멤버 감바 팀에 그런 게다 근데 시행도 되나 다 때문에 이제 된대 감라 나다 뭐 쉬워져 버지 나다 뭐 쉬워져 버지 나다 된저야 안돼 쥐트바다 메드벨에서 나다 뭐 쉬워져 되나 다 된저 오늘 나다 찾아가 쥐트미지 고도데 개체 뭐 쉬워서 둘러 공화선 한테 그런 게 통면나 점적 쉬워나 다 뭐발라 안에 가 상제바이나 안에 그 답변 나서 탐제 저좀 얘기 멤버적인 거 보러 상제바쇼 그래서 그런 게 되게 통매 안에 쉬워진다 톡제 탐자 쉬워샤네 어디래지 중요했어.
And so the Bodhisattva physician Karma Timehe, in his journey of practice, he saw that everywhere he went, the places that he went, they were plagued with many different diseases, some curable at that time, some incurable at that time. And looking at the suffering of these diseases, what he did is that he did a very strong supplication. He said that, may I be the one who will be able to dispel all these suffering of the ailment. May I be the one who becomes the cure to all these suffering, that is the diseases. And through this, he made a commitment to himself at that time with the supplication. He made the commitment that he will become the one who will later be the one who will be able to dispel all the suffering of every single type of sickness and diseases in the existence.
그래서 다 전주에서 멤버 까마 때문에 그런 통매점 줘 되게 나네 다 그런 전념래 모두 전에 다 아니 그런 상제바 거서 상제 밀라게 아니 뭐버 아니 상제네 심제 탐자게 아니 녀모마다 동갈로 쏘고다 다가나 지금 르지 나자로 쏘고 근데 다세 치도 아니 통매점 줘나 아니 도제 탐자샤 샤반 나쟁게 상제도 전에 다 되게 믹스하게다 통매 점주 몰람 자와이나 산제 멜라게 나제토라 믹사게 아니 누바죠레서 좀제 코나 담보 상마 제병 원내라 근데 그 토제 담자 여와 손다다 데 대화처 뭐시오르스
And so with his rigorous, consistent practice in dharma and his service to the sentient being by curing the diseases through medicine, at a certain point, Bodhisattva physician Karma, he attained full enlightenment. And because his inspiration, his aspiration, his intention of attaining enlightenment was to become someone to dispel all the suffering, that is the sickness, from the existence, that is the reason. So because of his supplication and his principal commitment, Medicine Buddha became someone, or Medicine Buddha became a Buddha to which the supplication in relation to the sickness is more efficient, meaning that trying to dispel the suffering of sickness and ailment is more efficient because of the primary supplication and the commitment, the principal commitment that the Bodhisattva physician Karma made. And after, when he got enlightened, he had made those commitment, and therefore supplication to him regarding these things are more efficient and are more efficient and powerful.
대사 마사 땅을 좀 되대. 좀 세제도 봐. 네, 그런 게 구들려야다. 짐다. 근데 마사지다. 실단하다. 뭐라도 주서라. 인데도. 때좀 되다라 봐서 짠네. 좀 되다. 내도 탐제다. 단다 가서 네 류지. 내려서 보다. 내 손에서 배동아. 딘데게 시스템이 지금 딘데 열에 말했어. 딘데 저와에는 딱 근데 저거래. 디토나는 내 탐제다. 류지내다. 내 내송 동화라서 뭐 딘데 세트비게 다 들라 탑시도 돼. 가려서야 좀 되다라야. 컨디션스.
And moreover, during the time of the Buddha Shakyamuni, there was an older lady called Gandhima. So she attended near the Buddha. She went near the Buddha to attend near the Buddha. And so she placed her question. She posed a question to Buddha. She asked, "Oh Buddha, is there anyone in the entire existence who can dispel every single type of sickness?"
내서나 다 디게 내가 좀 되다가 네 this 네 산제 메라세죠 그랬잖아. 샤죠 빈루야서 산제 메라 신 산제서들 네 빈루야서다. 산제 빈루야 신라네 산제 메라세죠 그랬어. 다 산제 메라들라네 저는 소범물람 따바다. 산제 메라게 생활탕 산제 메라게 세대 마 소소게 배워라서 뭐 딘데게 네 물람 잡아나 근데 콜랑 산제 메라들 믹사게야 네 나살라서 뭐 딘데게 세게 누가 쳐도 보고 요래서 좀 되게요. 단단 팀다 대대마서요. 근데 송어스.
So, as an answer to that, Buddha Shakyamuni told to the old lady, Kindama, Buddha Shakyamuni stated, so in the Pure Land of Vedurya, there is a Buddha called the Medicine Buddha, so Bhaisajyaguru. So this particular Buddha, Medicine Buddha, is capable of dispelling every existing sickness and ailment.
대사 맞아요. 좀 되게요. 뒤양과 전라요. 안에 산제 멜라게. 페요들의 멜라게 산제 멜라게 체드는서 다 멜라 체드는서 멜라 되어요. 된저게 아니 냠래쳐와나 케베 가자 여와다 다소를. 대사 맞아요. 전주선 봐. 빠먹어요. 좀 되더라야. 자 슈드잖아요. 좀 되더냐. 어떤 메시지도 보소라. 좀 되시 봐요. 안에 멜라게 안에 페요 딘데 속과네 좀 되대 그런 게다 되어나라야. 산제 멜라게 돼. 냠래쳐와나 페요들도 되어서 딘데 좀 송노르다. 도랑청.
So in the sutra, there once in the Vaishali Nagar, Buddha Shakyamuni said that in the Vaishali Nagar there are these 7 siblings, known as the 7 siblings of the Medicine Buddha, and practice of these 7 siblings are also very beneficial in dispelling any suffering. And then in one instance in the sutra, it states that in one instance, the Bodhisattva Shri or Bodhisattva Palmo attended near the Buddha, and to her, Buddha expounded the teaching, that is the benefits of supplicating and practicing Medicine Buddha in order to dispel all suffering.
desona da jumde dege ngol tinde sungyore da di tanje melage da nyamle chawana tinde gezen tinde yo sungyona da nyamle khate chogore se nya tibachi labing gora da nyamle khate chog chitang da khande re just monam chakwa chapshana dige re khande re se nya tokpachi ranshin labing gora.
And so, hearing these benefits and the reference from the sutra, automatically a question arises. Okay, so if there are these benefits in practicing the Medicine Buddha, how should I apply myself in the practice of Medicine Buddha? Is simply reciting something or simply supplicating enough, or is there any other things that I must do in order to integrate this practice in my daily life?
다 전주 네 멜라게 다 초가 되는 방법이요. 다 초가 변화 멜라 남제 초가 당한테는 멜라 도저스에 줘라. 딜 코란라 차와이나다 멜라 도저 제와제 아니 다 딩아 되버서 숨스 딜레도 샤나되고 멜라 촉다마세 줘. 야는 민동세 줘라. 다 대수는 멜라 다라나 차와이나냐 아니 멜라가 돈 산제 멜라라 멜라 대식제 소소 매백고네 네 덴데슈네 차다 쳐발라서 뭐 표현해. 어다 덴데게 아니 초가 당해 줘라. 어디 제왔다가 파도 저도 니서 거고 덴데요. 다 때나 지 딩하다 되어서 딘데게 돈에 다녀요스.
And so, when it comes to the practice, there are many different various ritualistic texts, out of which we have the Mela Dochok, which comes in three volumes. Which comes in three length: the longer one, the medium, and the shorter. And so usually when we do the longer ritualistic, when we recite the longer ritualistic text, it usually takes anywhere about 2 to 3 hours, in which there is the invitation of the Medicine Buddha, and then through which we do the offering. We do the offering to the Medicine Buddha, and then there are other ritualistic things that you do before you sort of either request or you invoke the Medicine Buddha in a particular circumstance or manner.
드레딩아 드레 동서 네가 별라이나 다나 별라 나저 다 쓰다가 다 초가다에 저러 저거 메라 도저도 뭐 신바시라 요 말을 줘 거에도 내가 드레도 동서 그래서 당보당 별라이나 다 당보데 저 다시 가래 나자다 샵된다 가르쳐는 만졌지 메라 도저도 뭐 신바도 다래서 말을 삼삼도 다 치도 다 내가 소리는 다 초가다에 뭐 쉬워졌다 네가 소때 메라 도저 잠마다 예서 말을 삼삼도.
So Geshe said that in his observation, many years ago, in earlier times in Tibet, in olden times in Tibet, it seems that whenever someone needed to dispel these type of diseases, everyone would usually recite and perform the ritualistic text, perform the ritual and recite the ritualistic text of Menla Docho. So Geshe observed that at those times, probably this was the only text that was renowned throughout Tibet, where everyone was using this particular text. But now we see that in these times there are other ritualistic texts that are also being practiced. So there are various other ritualistic texts that are also being practiced for that particular reason.
나 대제 다 멜라게 대샵데 뭐 바체 다 뺐다 거 천대 셔서 나다 당보 멜라게 산제 멜라게 디치 제난도 왕도 데레 토에나 랍set다 데레 토벨레 데네 소소게 참니럽신 멜라게 디 nga저라 숭아데 몸직스 사 데레 사 냠바젠 데레 토네 멜라게 초가데 냠설나 바이나 믹사게 누가테요스.
So if one truly wants to practice the ritualistic text of the Medicine Buddha, it is not only recommended, but it is mandatory to receive an empowerment of the Medicine Buddha, as well as to receive the visualization of the Medicine Buddha. Only after receiving the transmission, visualization, and the empowerment of the Medicine Buddha, then when one starts reciting the text and starts practicing the text, it becomes useful, it becomes efficient.
그래서 좀 내게 쳐드나다 나다 도스니 숨어라. sakpaado ngaa de nyamle chebala na wang se de pe kecham zigurta. Chungna se rab chungna. Kasana wang de kasana wang se de wang cha se wara. Ngaa de nyamle chebala de wang cha chabuchi. De wang de toba na chuna nyamle de checham waris. O dinde se de kecham chagwar. Wang se de ngaa chokho yin so da go chog diya. O dinde chungna yaksho da me chunga ina ngaa se mena ngaa tayan la sokpa tenzo da sambanamdatone molam jawadindole nangayo mari tengdu.
So the teachings of the Buddha, the discourse of the Buddha, are usually classified in two classes: the Sutra and the Tantra. And so specifically, when it comes to the Tantra, the gateway to the practice of Tantra is through the empowerment. So empowerment, the word empowerment, where you have the word empower, it represents the permissibility or permission to practice a particular ritual. So only when you receive that particular empowerment are you permitted, do you receive the permission to practice a particular ritual. But for day-to-day recitation of the mantra of Medicine Buddha and simply supplication, Geshe-la said that it might not be very much necessary to receive the empowerment.
그래서 다 망보지래야 왕슈의 카보요르다 저저다 내단다 망보 저 왕세대 봐 종안나는 요추저인데 둠되어지네 요 말아 미드전에 다때 카보이드전에 다왕 몇점나야 아네 산제 멜라라 아네 소밤람 담네 멜라게 청아탕 산제 멜라 코랑 담보네 디네다 대지 저주스 막가마 테멜르 쇼 코랑게 다 몽발랑아 산제 바이나 멜라 ngoro 산제 가서 아네 나게 민나 펴왔다 아네 dinle sopa chabayna kunjoga ne kangas setobye dinle chawashi os monam jaba nansinge tanganjo sanje melage sunga thangna sobodo dinle chabayna sosejula ne leg nadaton nyongde nadan manaye nabayna dinle zathapo manaye soba tende chawayos.
And so empowerment is something that is a procession that takes time, effort, preparation. So not everyone will be able to receive the empowerment because one needs to dedicate a specific duration of time to receive this empowerment. So therefore, simply to practice, for example, to supplicate to the Medicine Buddha or to recite the Tharani mantra of Medicine Buddha, it is not necessary to receive the empowerment because the Medicine Buddha or the Bodhisattva physician, Kamachume, he specifically had made that commitment. He said that once when I attain the complete enlightenment, those in suffering, just by reciting my name, their suffering will be dispelled. So he made that commitment when he was before attaining enlightenment. So therefore, simply with great dedication, reciting the Dharani mantra or calling his name is also a type of practice that one can apply oneself towards. And these type of practice do not require you to take the empowerment of the Medicine Buddha.
됐어. 다스 산제게 산제 멜라를 두잖아. 다 멜라세 멜라들이야 다 대식 제스지 시오르다. 대식 제스는 다 멜라 지당 멜라 뇌제 대가는 또 사제도 받지. 멜라 대식 제스 받지. 또 사제도 맞지와나 멜라 체 뇌세지. 뭐 딘데 그냥 대요르스다.
So in the practice of Medicine Buddha, usually we say that there are 8 Medicine Buddha, in which there are these 7 sibling Medicine Buddha with Buddha Shakyamuni. So if you consider Buddha Shakyamuni in that particular group, then there are 8 Medicine Buddha. Other than that, there are 7 Tathagata Medicine Buddhas.
다 됐으나 다 간저에 담보 냄주게 다 멜라게 초가다 왔다 하나 멜라게 냠레체가 가서 안데 멜라체 멜라 대시 제라 안데 레레 전에야 차다 쳐발라서 표네 아니 몰람제제 디네지 치고 저치도 다르다 멜라 대시 제 소소소 그 도모 마이베야 뉴발라서 디네 요라 그세 됐으나 방한데네 마데 치고 다 되게 맹드마 안다가 마떼요 배 아니 된다고라 대시 좀
So therefore, in any ritualistic text that you recite or any ritual you perform that has to do with the Medicine Buddha, it has to do, the initial step is offering and prostration to each of these Tathagatas, each of these Tathagats. And so therefore, Geshe is going to recite the name of each of these Medicine Buddha.
다 당보대 안에 돈바 좀 되게 대중 공도 쉬었네 임바 안에 돈바 셔졌도 봤지
So the So the first amongst the 8 medicine Buddha is the Buddha Shakyamuni.
던지바들라 네 먼저 벽을 잡아나 대시지고 첼라고 용다 빠지 잡고서 첼라 용다 빠지 첼 뇌바나 첼라 용다라 첼라 용다 빠지 잡고서.
And the second is called the Buddha, renowned glorious king of excellence sign. In Tibetan, it is Ten Leg by Yong Trapel, and in Sanskrit, it's Suparikirtita Nama Sri Raja.
저장가 첼라 뭐 용다 빠지 잡어대 고라나 잡는 고란게 다체 퇴바다 템바르 주발라 되네게 다 가서는 소속에 저발라 되네 네 심제 중앙 내 나발서 보다 딕바 진짜게 되서는 내 바리 줄어 된절라 타야라서 근데 소속에 류지요 류가 예수 좀 왕복군 상해라 서고 딘데게 안에 딕바 슬랍스 사대우나 되도 준체라 서고 딘데게 안에 말람 잡아이나 딘데게야 미사게 되요레스 제주.
So the benefit of supplicating to the Buddha, renowned glorious king of excellence sign, is that by supplicating to him, one is able to dispel any form of diseases that arises from either curses or past life karma. So any diseases that may be arising from any non-virtuous karma that one has accumulated, or any diseases that arises from these curses can be dispelled entirely. And so simply by reciting the name, simply by focusing on the name, one is able to also clear out the accumulation of negative karma that they have accumulated in many lifetimes.
대가서 맞아 다 수조들이 잡아야나 아니 내돈을 집었지만 내손을 medon을 쏘바다 대gon다 외본다 근데 저는 정갈라나 저를 미주를 쏘바다 근데 심지 너발을 쏘고 근데 뭐지라 아니 타리하게 잡아 학바도 치워이나다 와도 시에는 힘바라 상마 치워 제안에 산제게 산제 메나싱도 제를 쏘고 근데게 아니 그제 좀 보여렸어.
So the benefits also states that by reciting and focusing on the name of the Buddha, renowned glorious king of excellent sign, it is said that one will be able to avoid rebirth in the lower realm. One is able, in this very lifetime, one is able to avoid poverty, starvation, and such, and then maybe in a wrongful incarceration. And also and ultimately, if you are able to practice by reciting and focusing on the name of this Buddha, this Tathagata, one is also able to be born in the pure realm of the Medicine Buddha.
다 대선다 다 들렸어봤다 그때 뭐 요새 다 니바데라 아니 숨바데라다 숨바데 아니 대시제 바른제 다발 버제 다바세다 쿠란라 디레게 차추 문하는 잡아 쏘보 디레 잡아이나 근데 소소게 아니 하다 미기 근데 컴바토벨 쏘바다 아니 전족샘다 제요나 대양 메데바 소소게 개바 냠nye 가사바나 대 코나 콘도 페엘 쏘고 디레게 아니 쏘바게 아니 그때 납체 요래 근데 집에서 하는 몽발한테 산제 메레신도 제일 소바 어딘데게 누바요레스.
So the third, which is the Buddha of melodious sound, Deshapa Rinchen Tawa. So in Sanskrit, it's Swarvakosa Raja. So supplicating to this particular medicine Buddha enables one to be reborn in a higher rebirth of humans or in the God realm. And then by supplicating to this particular Buddha or Tathagat, what happened is that whatever amount of bodhicitta that has arisen within us, this particular attainment will retain throughout our many lifetimes. And then another benefit of supplicating is any virtuous deed that we have done, by simply focusing on the name of the Buddha King of melodious sound, these virtue that we have done will multiply many fold. And then ultimately, by devoting to the practice and then reciting the name and focusing and contemplating on the name, after the death, one can also attain rebirth in the pure land of Medicine Buddha.
대체 내가 시바데 스티레도 세상 주면나 세상 주면나들아 당한 저게 야 차주고 보려서 보도 딘데게다 몰람 잡아야냐 다하는 시간에 콘도 주번데 시 그때 뭐여 봐 맞아 다들 책 통동차로나 되는 몰람 쉬었잖아 세령 붙여서 보다 안돼 소속에 다 탑재를 써보들 제나 딜레 탑비를 써봐 대선자 아니에요 테달라 소바다 망보지 다 게세 망보죠 다데 도도도 주는 데데 도지 집에 제가 다 대지 권도 주었네 제가 아는 산재 밀레슌라 지헬라 소바 데데 그 누버스 보여.
So the fourth of the eight medicine Buddha is the excellent stainless. It's the Buddha stainless excellent gold, or Desheba Sirsantime, or in Sanskrit it's Swarna Bhadra Vimala Ratna Prabhasa. So this particular Tathagat or Buddha, the supplication and offering to this Buddha has benefit in such way. So all the previous benefits are there. Upon this, there is the benefit of longevity, meaning having a long life, long and healthy life. And then another particular benefit of supplicating or offering to this particular Tathagat is if you are going through particular, judicial dispute, if you are going through particular judicial dispute, if you supplicate to this Buddha and recite its name and contemplate on the name of this Buddha, those disputes will be resolved in your favor. So, and then ultimately, once you die, you'll be reborn in the Pure Land of the Medicine Buddha.
데네다 나와들도 디시집은 양의 매저 빼서 양의 매저 빼라 공도 쉬원에 제가 땅안도 차출로서 뭐 물람 자와이나 나 소속에 가르잖아 아니 소속에 아니 류나 가래나 빼 당한다 덴바 아니 소속에 아니 로보다 낭베다 가래나 봐 참보용으로서 딘데게 아니 내자든 용어용이야 됐어 다가나 제가 아니 집에 쳐 아니 양의 매배 신라 빠제가 딘데게 쳐봐 참보용으로서.
So now the fifth Tathagata, which is the Buddha's supreme glory, free from suffering, or Deshisheba Nyange Me Chopel, or in Sanskrit it's Ashok Tamashri. So supplicating and reciting the name of this particular Buddha, the first thing that is in the benefit is that the person who deeply contemplates and recites the name of this particular Tathagata, their entire body becomes radiant, meaning that they become radiant. And then the other benefits is that by reciting the name and contemplating on the name of this particular Buddha, one has less disputes between siblings and friends. There is less suffering of the diseases in one's life, and ultimately that particular person will be, after the death, will be reborn in the Pure Land of the Medicine Buddha.
데네 trukwate shoda jazo tinjiba shoda jazonya shoda jazonya la ya ta susu sam namda to ne da kondo shuba ne jinge chada chuba mulana soba jaba hina kayro sena da kona tude tado tawa yang ta pata temba 당도 삼다 tawa lokba wange ne kangan shu tedo ora so tude namba kodo so tawa yang ta ba chola pa to tebe so pata 아니 대신 다 최제 다 최근에 년바잠에 전죽샘을 써봐도 줄을 써봐 딘데를 써봐 근데 소소는 균노 농제를 써봐 된저 양이냐 딘데 아니 페트를 써봐 딘데 켜봐요 그래서.
And so the sixth is the Medicine Buddha, is the Buddha, melodious ocean of proclaimed dharma, or Desheva Chura Gyatso. In Sanskrit, it's Dharma Kirti Sagara Gosa. So supplicating the name and supplicating to this Tathagata and reciting the name and deeply contemplating on the name of this particular Buddha, there are benefits such as, the first benefit is that if you wholly dedicate and recite the name of this Tathagata, what happens is that you will always be in line, or you will always be aligned with the proper view. You will never fall into the wrong view. The second is that supplicating to this Tathagata, what happens is that if you thoroughly dedicate yourself in the practice of this Tathagata and recite its name with deep contemplation, next time, whenever you hear even a single sound of the dharma, at that very instance, your bodhicitta multiplies manifold, or the bodhicitta that you have arisen or have not arisen will arise. Those who have arisen, those bodhicitta will strengthen, or those will develop multiple fold. And then the third benefit is that whatever wealth and prosperity that you desire, all those wealth and prosperity with multiple fold will be received. And then ultimately, after the death, the person will be reborn in the Pure Land of Medicine Buddha.
Rene dumba de la da de do onje jawos. onje jawos sik de de do. da de ane onje jawo de la ane kondo shuba nenshin ge ane cha chebe la mulan so ba jawa ina de le de ne ane so so la ane ngason la ma je la so ba ta. So so ane rawang to shiwang to manju. Da shinde wang to ne rawang me cha de ma ngo ro ta. dinde ane so so 가르쳐 somna che rawang me shenje 가르쳐 ba ine je to ga joro. dinde le so me yo ane so so tsering bo le so ba. dinde le so ba ane keten che mo yo re. nga shibe te ane ta je kondo shuba nenshin ge ane 산자의 밀레션도 지역에 딘데게 디요르스 게제.
So now the seventh, which is the Buddha Delightful King of Clear Knowing, or Desha Bangwen King Gyabo, or in Sanskrit it's Abhigyana Raja. So supplicating, reciting, offering to this particular Tathagata has benefits such as if one recites and supplicates the name of this Tathagata, one will be able to avoid rebirth in the lower realm. And then the other thing is that there are in some ways, there are some type of curses that are being put on people, in which they come under the control of the other people. So by reciting diligently the name of this particular Tathagata, one becomes immune to that type of curse. One becomes totally immune to that kind of curse where they are being controlled by other people. And then there's less disease, there's great prosperity, and ultimately they will be reborn. After the death, they will be reborn in the pure realm of the Medicine Buddha.
다 타마데나 다 멜랑 고마데 다 산제 빈드야세 대차고 다 딜라에 되지 몰람다 딘데게 차주 몰람 저와나 다 지단 되지 공도 쉬음하고 당분에 딘데서 봐 소소가 르게 나자 뇽아 아네 셈지 나자 뇽아 딘데서 봐 달락바도 아니 차장게 내라 쏘봐 아니 가자야 잡을라 쏘봐다 딘데게 왕게 아니 베데 제어도 내대버 쏘봐 딘데서 봐다 매용아 계세 랍체 보여레스 안에 딘데게 안에 산제 몰라게 생각하는데 당 딘데제 몰람 잡아이나 소소이나야 더 세체마이나야 안에 내손은 믿지 산제 밀라게 신도 제라서 딘데게 안에 계세체 보여레스.
And so finally, the eighth is the Buddha Medicine Guru, King of Lapis Light, or Deshyaba Mengila Penduriya Yogi Gyabo, or in Sanskrit it's Bhaisajyaguru Veduriya Prabharaja. So supplicating to this particular Tathagata or this Medicine Buddha and reciting its name and deeply contemplating on its name benefits equally as stated for all the previous Tathagatas. And upon that, there are less physical and mental ailment that comes to their life. And then by reciting the name of this particular Tathagata, one can also avoid oppression by the rulers or the monarchs of a particular land. They could be free of their sort of reign and terror. And then ultimately, after the death, they are reborn in the pure realm of Medicine Buddha.
데라서 땅 한쪽에 남샤진도 담멜라게 안데 초가고네 다 딘데게 남레치도서네 담멜라 대시제 탐자라 안데 서반물람 담네 안데 콘도 토끼를 예배가 안데 또 잠바다 제발다 닌텔라서 보다 딘데게 안데 뉴바도 좀 마네 친질람네 소소 주제 안데 르당하게 안데 사샤베 안데 디바다 디바 탐자 타야를 써보다 어디제 때 타과도 안데 세델라 찾으면 세델라 안데 내나다 용아 아네 세생와 소소게 다 삼대 가르나 두별을 쏘고 딘데게 아네 쳐도 나가 저기 자주 붙이 오래 즉 세대 개대죠 다 세침발 지단 타도 개대죠 봐이나 근데 멍바나 아네 점제 탐자였던 도 산제 쳐도 소소게 내 나다 나바잖아도 저 냠제도 말아 세르고 세통도 쉬어졌나 충료가 싫어 봐이나 저 냠제도 뭐 세다가 내 나다 뉴뉴 체령부 어디래더라네 chuy냠내잖아 몽발라 아니 산제에 대체 타도 깨제더라
And so, when it comes to these ritualistic practices, after the offering and supplication, when we sort of like request the deities, in this case, the eight medicine Buddha, the first request is the purification of the stained body, speech, and mind, which we have. So, what we do is that we supplicate that by the blessing of the medicine Buddha, may our tainted or stained body, speech, and mind be
I think so. Tenzin Lagwala has. Sorry, there's network issue. Listen.
last case, let's hustle.
I think the Tiber chess.
So, 자기야디 인사로 봐.
맞아, the touch chess. The Kodokoyana condition.
콘조 인지디 교차이.
Just under that.
콘조
Wait.
라
Tama Koidira.
기슬라.
Tama Koyana get it. Tiber.
So Geshe is asking, because of the network interruption, did everyone hear the translation, or is there anyone who did not hear the full translation?
Koyasa Lapama.
페이지 참여 코에서.
Less. Okay, less. 다 대신에 당한 저기 다들 권도 좋아하는 지금 답멜라게 되죠라 샵된 근데 제가 가서 아니 먼저 그 조금이라 대시지 된대신 아니 차초부 제 어떤데서 봐는 제 데이터 거버 좀데 아니 권도 쉬바 되는 진짜 대 많이 배야 당 멜라게 아니 샵된 삼자나야 멜라게 저가 신바제 가서는 멜라게 재능 데스 간세 창조세 장왕세 장왕의 창조세 대 안에 지단지 망쳐졌다 그 밑에 통산나 아니 막하게 저기 제수 안에 치워르다 다 장왕세는 뒤바다 뒤바 장 마사시베 뒤바다 뒤바 장하셔도 어딘데게 안에 저거지.
So in the more common pretext of the ritualistic texts, usually it starts with it usually starts with the invitation of the eight medicine Buddha, and then offering to make them offering. Usually the 21 offering that we make. And then afterwards, we request them to grant us. Either we ask them to help us resolve this particular sickness or suffering that we have of that sort. But then there are also these type of ritual under the compendium of the ritualistic texts there is of the medicine Buddha. There are also these ritualistic texts called the Changwang, or the purification ritual. So this particular ritual, which is the purification ritual, is a ritual which is performed after the death of someone. So the name, as it suggests, it's Changwang, Chang, which means usually to purify. So in this case, what happens is that we invite the deity, and then we ask them to purify the negative karma that has been accumulated by the deceased. So this particular ritual is usually done either right after or after sometime when someone has already passed away. So it's for the purification of the non-virtuous karma.
근데 제가 장화대 저거도 지체야 탐대 장화도 맞아 장화 집에 가서 한테다 덴바던 적이 디바다 디바 차야지도 양은 좀 명시할 수 명장들의 제 열스 저거대 다 메통서 저라 어디도 저도 지고르스 데 마동 같은 저도야 디콘트데 디바트바이도 저 장야지도 양 명도는 뭐 샤할 수 어딘데 양 지고르스.
So usually it's for the purification of the negative karmas, and then sometimes we also perform this particular ritual in which we make sure that the purification done with the announcement of the name of the disease. So in those cases, to purify the name with specifically calling out the name of the particular disease is also a ritual that can be performed.
네, 어떤 미 마동 같은 저 민도는 가지고 민장들은 막 장네. 반 thiên 담아들라는데 그 멜라타세 저라. 어디에 제대로 저데 멜라타드다네 그 메가 디바 타야 돼요. 말이나 천도에 좀 저래서. 미민상만 통하다 마동 상만 민도도 맞잔 멜라타야고 어디에 그 체저 대저보데 안에 디바도 막 창에 천도에 그래서.
So in this particular ritual, there's also one particular ritual that can be also applied to the non-deceased, those who have not passed away, in which a list of the name is written, and then as a symbolism, the names are being burned in the fire. So through the virtue of the fire, the names have been purified. So it's a symbolism that the names that have been written on that particular list, the non-virtuous karma that has been accumulated by them, has been thoroughly cleansed or thoroughly purified.
이제 다 되네 하는 남자 준도 당 아주 매량아 당할 가서 소설라니 샘제 나 강아요 샘난 나자서나 믿어 샘제 동화 다나 저거 로지 동화 되네 여가 가서 산제 매량아 타네니 소소소 도시 배짱 제조 근데 돈에 제도바이나 야고 싫어 요랬어.
So sometimes there's also this particular practice in which you can recite the name or recite the Dharani mantra of the Medicine Buddha, and then you can visualize that there is a stream of nectar or stream of Amrit that flows on you, and then thoroughly cleanse. So the name in this particular practice, the name is Duzi Pepjang. Duzi, which is Amrita. Pepjang means to purify. So purification with the Amrit. So this is a particular practice that one can also do.
대체 다때 대전 간적에 되어라. 멜라 대체 제게 대전디 텐데 대체 다데 구바도 사샤나 다데 덴데도 요랬어. 멜라 대체 제자 다데 돈바 세제도 바세 텐라고 다 빠져오네. 다시 강동 건좀 마슈인 방 덴데 마텐데 차요스.
Geshe 샤르금도
알라 샤그민데
the
시긴 샤르민데
screen dinang 저기 has started sharing lasha. the kuba 통문도
고마드민데
kuba 단 통문도
안돼 고마드 다 통데
나오 다 통구도 나오
충분히 통민들아 첨버선을 통민다 다 통민다
단데 쳇롬도 뭐든 통통구도 나오
셔르나 통민데
다들 쳇롬도 추주랑 통구도
알아 충분히 통데 다 되기지라 나데나 첨버 통 다데
나서
데네 맞춰다 데 이거 싫어 다데 돈바샤자 두번에 제다나 멜라게 데 두시 배짱 잡아 가서 곰자와이나 칸에 산제 멜라게 송화 탕게 동화 전에도 돈바 좀 되들 멜라 맨젤라 빈도에 해지 잡아 소저 그 고가나 요바세 디가나 방 되냐 되제 담바데 돈바 좀 되네 텐라면 빠지 잡아 방 되네 좀 되네 두시 밥 두시 데마 텐라면 빠지 잡아 치네 제마 담바데 멜라게 빈도야지 안에 르라마 밥 르라 파가 두시 차장 안에 소저 르라 토소 삼바제 디데 토네야 에 두시 펩장 토네 네 멜라게 되자바나 락바도 안에 소저게 갑자기 대가서 ane soso liu naza ina le semje dunga ina tu sangma seso sambache dindege ane mebache ni nyamle chetan jage waras.
So in the Amrita purification practice, so as you can see the eight Medicine Buddha here, you have to visualize the Medicine Buddha in this particular order, where you see that the first at the bottom is the Medicine Buddha with Veduriya Prabhasa Raja. So you visualize the Veduriya Prabhasa Raja, Medicine Buddha, at the crown of your head, on the crown of your head. And then in this sequence, you visualize each of these Medicine Buddha as shown in this portrait. You have to visualize it from the Medicine Buddha till the top where there is the Buddha Shakyamuni. And so from the Buddha Shakyamuni, visualize that there is a stream of white nectar that flows down, and then it fills the Buddha Shakyamuni, goes down to the second Medicine Buddha, goes down to the third, fourth, and then eventually reaches the final, which is the Medicine Buddha, Veduriya Prabhasaraja. And then from him, you need to visualize that this nectar enters in your body, and then as it enters, it purifies all your negative karma, all your diseases, sickness, and everything. So this particular visualization, as in practice, is called purification through nectar or amrita purification or duzi pepsang.
됐어. 나도 저기 돈에 저 완전 남지 힐링세 뒤져 차도 그랬어. 다 주도 내가 소소가 안에 근데 제가 가서 다 삼산나 셈나나 네 강하다 오지. treatable. 셈나 센트럴 서포트 근데 뭐 셈마죠 여가 가서 어딘데 마다 서포트도 말 하려고 남지 검정하는 이때 어딘데 좀 밀랑 같은 게 전에 다 소소가 나 학바도 아니 셈나자이나 셈나자데 상마다 마 되지 되게 마 타소 삼바다 나 되지 찔러 팀소 삼바 어딘데 몇 번째 당하는 지금 르 나자 여바이나 르기다 저 고아 여바이나 다 되지도 마르 나자 있어들 렘네 나자 상마 소소 삼바제데 미과체네 소소게 밀랑아탕 데바이나 야 믹사야 니버테여스.
And so this particular process is very much like healing. So you just visualize the nectar, the amrita flowing in your body. So as it flows in your body, it enters the channel in your body. So as it enters the different channels in your body, it fills different parts of your body to the channel. And as it reaches different components or different part of your body to this channel, visualize that as it is spreading in your body, the different parts of your body where you are feeling different sickness, ailment, or suffering, they are being washed away. They are being healed. Imagine a part of body where you have a particular sickness. Then you visualize that this nectar has reached that part of your body where you have the sickness, and as it cleanses that part with the nectar, your sickness at that part, it just is being cured. So in this way, you can also practice this purification in order to purify as well as heal a particular disease or ailment that you are suffering from.
저는 당한저 당보데 디콜라 담멜라가 나데 텐카제 냠보사게 사바가도 대주 고노 쇼바 내신게 안데 소소고 제들라 멜라 빈데 요지 자오체 데네 리바 신도체 제들라 또 마시죠 또 버체 뭐 콘저 주네 마네 찍네 되제데 마도 뭐좀 되다네 마체방 데서산 테메네체 메젤라 빈데 요지 봐도 총 데네서는 소소마 룰라마 팀네 근데 르기 나자다 셈제 강하라서 뭐 탐제다 매바 차소 선배 매바 관계인데 완전 멜랑아데 텐가제냐 못사리스.
And so Geshe said that now we're going to recite the Dharani mantra of Medicine Buddha. And as you recite it, visualize that at the crown of your head, there is the Medicine Buddha. And then in that series, visualize all the 8 Medicine Buddha. At the top is the Buddha Shakyamuni. And so from the heart of Buddha Shakyamuni, a white nectar or amrita flows down, and it reaches the second, the third, the fourth, and so forth till the last, which is the Medicine Buddha, and it enters your body and it purifies your sickness, ailment, and negative karma. So as we recite the mantra a few times now, make sure that you visualize it in that manner.
다야 다 베가데 베가데 마 베가데 라자에서 모가데서 다야 다 베가데 베가데 마 베가데 라자에서 모가데서 다야야다 베가데 베가데 마 베가데 라자야사 모가데소 다야야다 베가데 베가데 마 베가데 라자야사 모가데소 다야야다 베가데 베가데 마 베가데 라다야사 모가데소 다야야다 베가데 베가데 마 베가데 라다 Samoyaka deso daya da bega de bega de ma bega de radaya samoyaka deso daya da bega de bega de ma bega de radaya samoyaka Kadezo Gyawae Deye Nyodoe Dae Mimbe Jawoe Dojone Dowae Jejamaleba Deye Salange Barasho Muda de nganzoge dat samdana suso dinnasin chedana samdana ne semachiwa kaso dire chana digur samdana ne lirina da yoga kaso konda shubana sin dinde chene susoge ne mikwa chewa na tende ta diya ne sma namda ton tanje melala dinde nubata dinde yoga yecheda dinde tone chedewa na tende pendo yoru tindu beseja.
So Geshe said that, so in this manner, you can integrate this practice that we just did in your everyday life, where you can spend time to visualize the entire thing and recite the Dharani mantra, especially in times when you either have certain form of depression or mental ailment, or times when you have physical ailment. You can sit down, but this should be done with a 100% faith and devotion to the Medicine Buddha, to have to have 100% confidence that the Medicine Buddha is capable of dispelling every ailment that I experience. And with that faith and devotion, to sit down, visualize the entire thing that as we did today, and then reciting the Dharani mantra. And then if you do this exactly as instructed, Geshe said that it is definitely sure that you will see a particular benefit of doing this practice in those times.
안되제 더드네 하는 건저 다른 유저데 먼저 다른 유 답되네요라 답되는 건저 멜멜 자원 좀 멜레 자원 좀 가서 멜라게 되바데 정마다 아다나 저기 멜레 자원게 남지 나제 레치고야 그서서야 때 몸베를 여봐서 네 더저 여봐다 데레 콤바이나 아니 건저 뭐 전산데 그랬어.
So Geshe said that, so now with this, we are going to put this in practice, which is on the 27th this month. There's going to be the purification ritual of the Medicine Buddha that will be held at the center. And then whosoever can participate, meaning those who are either in Mumbai or in and around Mumbai who can participate physically for this particular event, are all welcome to join us on that particular day, that is 27th September.
직제 진행해야 내가 저 로데 쪽도 직전에 멜라게 전환줘라 어디내게 안에 셔셔도 예 네 좀 어떻게나 가서 대책이 있으면 잡다 체인스.
And so Geshe said that he is thinking, and so they will plan for this, that maybe at the end of this year, there will be a visualization empowerment of the Medicine Buddha. They might prepare it. So Geshe said that whenever they had planned it and discussed it and then finalized it, then Geshe will announce this particular thing.
네, 자, 안에다 집어드는 요나 미사야. 집어드는 요나.
So Geshe is saying, if there's any questions anyone has regarding today's session, they may ask question, or any doubts regarding the practice of Medicine Buddha, they may ask, and Geshe is going to take a few questions now. Tanta Geshe the chat now nga zaki manasi hati lagi kong khasung tulana nga di nga di tayang di kol nga di tayang di nga te ropa na ro chela sha peche tratang da ti tata te yo samari yambe nga di shinko yo samari.
네, nga데나 따야타 베가즈 마 베가즈 란자스무가데 소가스. 데 요래 지당 다 단다 가서다 유튜브도 봐 요래 가사칼라다 타제나도 자바나 인디나나 책통 퇴샤량 칸나라와레 베게 따와인데 랄라와 요래 딘데토. 다당 텐션 보면은 유튜브도 망고 요래 딘저 만년에 클릭클릭 신용스.
So Geshe said that in terms of the mantra itself is Om Bekadze, Bekadze, Maha Bekadze, Bekadze, Ranza Samukate Swaha. And so, if you would like to learn the pronunciation of this, or how to pronounce this mantra, or the mantra itself, there are many videos on YouTube where you can just simply write the mantra of Medicine Buddha, and you can listen to those videos, and they pronounce the mantra correctly. 아니 대체네 맨날이라 공기 가송들라나 디 냠네지 여러봐 냠네디 게실랑아 좋단다디 믹바탄 뒤집배장 냠네디 나람처럼 믹바친 최고레베 야면 뒤집배장 제동아 저기 강사 현지를 좀 믹바치 딜라 뒤집배장 믹정아 저기 뒤집배장 기념네 최초고레 베슬라지
네 인진난라 저선 가시 저버드 지금로나 못 간다.
So Menalila says that can we also do the practice for others who are suffering?
다다데 되게 아니 뒤집일단 제저라 이거 소소 전화돼 소소 맞아 다 소소게 지단게 연연라 소소 밤마다 속바다 년년들 창마 여 잠바체 내내 또 sem제 딜레 파 자제네 sem제 탐자에서도 전화 딜레자 누가 차요래 존나다 데 약보였는데 제tom나 그제 양한테 제토고 메나야 카보도도네 다 소소 강아이가 가서 소소 전화 쪽으로 대체는 소소 누가도 누가 쉬어지라서나 뭐 대체 중국 삼사거들 저와도 원래는 다 되게 누가 되는데 심지어 탐자라 미마쇼 소소 강아지 마스 충좀 들어와나 되게 안에 심지어 현지 강아던 양 대세바쇼 삼자가 안에 다시 냠제세저로 니네 냠내 제여스.
So Geshe said that upon the initial practice, if you get the confidence that this practice is actually very beneficial in reducing the suffering, be it physical or mental, then after that you can go on visualizing a broader visualization in which not only you, in your periphery, you can visualize anyone, your family members, your friends, and then in people in your circle. If much better, if you can also visualize the sentient beings, the infinite sentient beings in the periphery, and visualize that at the same time, the Medicine Buddha is purifying their suffering and their pain at the same time. So if you can also visualize that for others, or you can include infinite beings in your periphery, in the ground that you're visualizing, and then at the same time being purified by the Medicine Buddha.
Nikila
아니
question I think.
Nikila chuachitu.
Yes.
Yeah. So Geshe, I'm wondering, in addition to physical ailments, some people also suffer from mental ailments, and this can be through no fault of their own. Maybe it's just something they were born with, or it developed due to their environment. And some of these can also be mental disorders, or some serious addictions, or mental disorders that cause addictions. So would supplicating to Medicine Buddha also help these people? And another question I have is, can we do these prayers for these people without them knowing it? Is that okay?
Last location la Nikila Kongka Sonsolana, Chuani, your Toma de Kainana, then Suki Karelan Sangi Mengi to Dizipe Yamne Tiki, Suki, Lugi Naza, Maimpa, Semgi Naza, Temenanga, Suki, something to Mikashi, Suki, Arata, Changrata, and in your Zella Sopa, Tendelanga, to Yambalang Shotoche, to Tende Kangi Yoba Tendeti Yorba, then so Diki Naza, then so taking out to give me taking out to Chua to the best, sharing out to Chua Tangpodesha, and Chuaniba de Karetulana, Suki, Tendeki to the Pejanchi and Yamne, Miss Shembachi to Chedu, Miss Shembati Hama, Hobalanga to give me Pache Chena to get the best, Yaman Injim Paju Middle Gadget teaching out to Cheku Gorepes.
저 단다 내게라던데 소나지 다 되게 소소하게 냠래 양보 차와이나 근데 딘데게 산제 멜라게 되게 도시 뵙장 되게 답때 소소하게 누이나다다 셈년 나다 세트베 누바요레스 다이나 누바데 테마도 세줘라 테마도 세데 소소소소게 냠래다 소소소소 대바다 어디에 뭐뭐지 어디라 라글레레스 어디에 차장가 텐트 바이나 덴데 팽그르 대체 니바데나 차잖아다 강사 신바젤라 봐 제바이나 신바델라 핑계를 말했어요. 다 대에 개점 버려. 다 대에 같이 학 버저대 한 먹어나 펜스 버려서 다 대양다 내가 내당 먹어질라 된 거야. 샤팅도 가서나 강사대 대체바 가서 버저라 양 멜라 산제 멜라라 숙점 대봐요. 소소한 일에 대봐 숙점 보여. Tinde jencheba, tinde yobayna, tende pen tosibare. Na ta degi jenchane pe, jajaja nasa tangma sanjachane mengan roma ko wase. Tinde nanda yung mayon sete ya, sosoge nedang la tayare, sosoge nubal tayare mato ya. Takatsi nada ya tate mengan la june mandoja takaran dedene, nanga june doga mese. Tinde dedene ya, tata degi mare tengutu. Mengan la do, dee che, songdegi tone chebayna, tende kesen che yore tengutu.
So Geshe said that definitely this practice of purification is also beneficial for mental ailment. It is also beneficial for people who are dealing with addiction and stuff like this. So it's beneficial for all those cases. But for it to manifest 100%, it is very dependent on your faith on Medicine Buddha, your practice or the level of practice you have in terms of Medicine Buddha. If you have a great deal of practice in the Medicine Buddha, then definitely these will manifest 100%. This will be beneficial 100% in those cases. At the same time, whether you need to inform the other person that you're doing it for depends entirely on the circumstance or the situation. It depends on the person, depends on how or whether they would like to be informed about it or not. And it also depends on how much faith and dedication one has in this particular practice. And then at the same time, it is very important to understand that everything should be according to the amount of faith and dedication to this particular practice. So therefore, if in any cases you become sick, it is also important to consider that you must go to the hospital. If it's not helping, you need to go to the hospital. And then because if you don't have because there is no 100%, it depends entirely on you. And in most cases, it depends entirely on you how this particular practice will manifest. So therefore, it's better to go consult the hospital and at the site to practice this so that you can do it with, on one hand side you have the support of the hospital and the medication, and then on the second hand you have this practice. So together, putting them these things together, you can actually manifest or accelerate the benefit of this particular practice. 라서 계실라 아니 뎁딜라 콩기 가르케제 되기들나 저기 텐제 메나기가 저기 초가라 소팔랑아 저기 로바치스나 장바치고토스나 델랑아 저기 계실라기 뇌네 저기 빼자 텐제가 저기 빼자 텐데 약부 커리메 텐데 민텐데 징아 저 숭에 유나스 체 아니 다다딩아 저 뒤지 배장 셰버딩아 저 동랭기 냠네타 야 튀제가 저 찰라 냠네딩아 저기 자징아 저 냠네 치나 되기를 베스. So Diptila asks, are there any texts which Geshe can recommend for further study, and that also can this practice be used in conjunction with Tonglen?
다한테 매자되나 다 배우나 나다 망고 쉬어라다 이제 나랑에 더나 메디신 부다 사타나서 제 FMPD네 혼자서 저기도 내가 내가 말아서 나다디 단자값서 돈을 제대 다잖아 아이나서 좀데 비대버인데 지난 자와 나다디 디나야 보도 디데텔서 어디나 다잖아도 여유리 팀도 내 돈을 대 통서 인지나 대체 아니 근데 저번에 다데 동네세데 동네세데 아니 멜라톤 동네 최초다 멜라게샵 되네 되지 뵙잖아 제가 값어 아니 소소게 되지 뵙잖아 제가 값어 아니 소소게 되지 뵙잖아 제가 때네 소소라 아니 누바이나 메도 개바이나 간나지라서나 오다데 라바데 신라 멤버쇼 삼바체 소소데 셈나나 강아로 용도 왔다 류지 나살라서 데 용도가 처벌레바나 다 되게 셈제 제게 아니 동아든도 봐 타소 삼바 데 코쳐봐쇼 삼자 되게 아니 용 심박이 용 먹고 걸었어 봐 되게 되게 별장 제가 가서 동네잖아 데그리스.
So Geshe said that there are many books in Tibetan which he could recommend, but in English, he has read, or he had read the book called Medicine Buddha Sadhana. It's a book published by the FPMT in regards to the visualization and the practice of Medicine Buddha Sadhana. So Geshe said that he is not entirely sure 100% if you will get the PDF online, but if you can, you can try searching the name Medicine Buddha Sadhana by FPMT. And this book is quite good in explaining the different stages and practice of Medicine Buddha. And so the answer to the second question regarding the Tonglen, Geshe said that definitely you can use it in conjunction with the Tonglen, in which what you can visualize is that as the nectar enters your body and purifies your negative karmas and your ailment, you can aspire and visualize that with that very process, these negative karma and the ailment of other people or all the sentient beings are being purified at the same time. And after the purification, the degree of blissfulness and the degree of joy that is being experienced, you can aspire and visualize that this joy and blissfulness is spread throughout the entire sentient beings. And in those particular way, you can use it in conjunction with the Tonglen.
So that the joins right there.
So Geshe said that, so it seems that we have reached the time, so we're going to end the session here today.
Thank you so much, Geshe, for the precious teachings, and Tenzin Lakpala for the translation. Now let us do the dedication prayers. I'll try to share my screen. Yeah. I hope you are able to see the screen. Is it visible? Yeah. Dedication prayer from Shantideva's Way of the Bodhisattva. May all beings everywhere, plagued by suffering of body and mind, obtain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, may commit evil, or even fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food, may the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy, may the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvest. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain, to dispel the miseries of the world. Thank you once again, Keshala, Tenzin Lakpala, all Sangha members, Tashi, Tenzin La, and all support members of Mile Jamse. Our center runs on donations, so all those who want to donate, please reach out to us. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Milanaji, and a special thank you, Tenzin Lakpala, your wonderful translator. Thank you, everyone, for joining this session. Thank you.